Okay, so this is the secret to never blowing your live account. Okay, secret to never blowing your live account. So the market is constantly changing, right? What was actually working right now this month in Forex, the next 3 months can actually stop working. During festive period, the market is usually consolidating. After festive period, the market is usually on trends. So what actually works when the market is actually consolidating is actually different from what actually works when the market is actually trending. You understand? Apart from that, trade wars, what do you call it, tensions between countries, wars, pandemic, all these things, you understand, recession, all these actually affect currencies. And these are actually currencies of economies. And these economies are actually things are constantly going on in those in every economy. US, this one, China, this one, UK, this one. You understand? France, this one. You understand? These currencies, they are all tied down to those countries. So if anything actually happens in the country now, it's actually going to affect the currency. You understand? And you get. So now when it comes to forex trading now, one thing that people actually suffer is like they feel that they have a strategy going to last for the next 10 years. You understand? So they can be trading, they can be working for the next 3 months, and then after a while, stop working and you blow their account. That's why you see bots, you see, you buy a particular bot for like 2 months, the bot is trading very well, your account is growing. After that 2 months, before you know, the bot will just blow your account. It didn't blow your account because it wanted to actually blow your account, or because it was programmed to blow your account. It blew your account because it was trading, and when the market actually changed, because it's a robot, it does not actually have emotions. It just kept trading now, just being like that. You know, so you just kept trading and you will just be like that. So as a first trader now, you need to actually understand this thing. And that's why you need to journal your trades down very well. Because if you're journaling your trade now, you're actually going to have a range, an accuracy, an average accuracy that you're actually expecting from your strategy. That accuracy may be, let's say, 40% if you're doing MT4 with like 1 to 10 RR on your TP5, can be 50% or 60 based on whatever you're actually doing. Or let's say 60% accuracy or 50% on the MT4. All right. Now, you've been training like that for like 4 months, and then you're having an average of 50% accuracy. Then all of a sudden, 1 month, you notice the accuracy drop from 50% to 10%. Okay. Now, the moment you actually notice this thing, your reaction will determine if you're going to actually get your account back or if you're actually going to lose everything. Now, this is actually what I normally teach. And this is actually the secret now to never blame your account. Now, I'm going to use funded challenge model for this because funded challenge, they are very, very strict with their risk management. You have a maximum drawdown of 5%, maximum daily drawdown of 5%, okay? DD is equal to 5%, and TD, total drawdown, is equal to 10%. Okay? Now, I'm going to, because the way I trade, right, I use, what do you call this thing? Um, I like using high risk to reward ratio to my advantage. You understand? So normally I like catching like 1 is to 10, 1 is to 5, 1 is to 6, things like that. If you actually observe me actually trade. And then I use trailing stop loss by profit targets. As the market is moving up, I'm moving my stop loss. When it's hit a particular zone, I move it 10 pips in profits. I move 20 pips. So I'm actually easily securing profit at every point in time. So in my strategy now, when I've backtested and everything, I actually know how many losses I can actually have in a row. At least this one, I know that the maximum loss in a row is 3 losses in a row from backtesting results. Okay, 3 losses in a row. And it's actually analysis is actually done on a 4 hours time frame. So obviously I cannot even see 3 trades of 3 losses in a day. Probably like the 3 losses is going to be maybe in like 3 days because the 4 hours time frame I'm using. Okay. So now I am risking 0.5 0.5% per trade, okay? Per trade. All right. Now for me to be able to actually hit my DD, my daily drawdown, I need to actually like lose 10 trades times 10 trades is equal to 3 losses, is equal to 10 and 5%. Okay. Now my average percentage payout is what? 1:10. Let's average because I the strategy I'm using right now, I have up to 1:20 with TP5. So let's say 1:10. Let's just as in 1:10 for ease of calculation. I don't start using 1:4, 1:5, so I don't confuse everybody. So that 1:10 basically means that if I risk 0.5% and I win the trade, I make 5%. Okay. Right. So now, if I have 10 losses in a row, I stop trading. Now, remember what I said. Maximum loss in a row is actually three. All right. And if I have three losses in a row, because my percentage bar is like my risk to reward is like 1:10. If I have three losses in a row, and let's say I've lost like 3%, let's say I'm using 1%. The moment I win one trade, I win 10%. I'm already back in profit. Because if I'm using 1% now and I have three losses in a row, now I've actually lost minus three. Abi? The moment I win a trade, I win plus 10. I'm back in plus 7. But then it don't get a particular point where maybe I lose up to like 10 trades in a row. The moment I lose that 10 trades in a row, okay, what do? I don't stop. I don't keep trading. All right. I stop trading. So I'm using 0.5% risk. So if I have that 10 losses in a row, that means I've hit my drawdown. Drawdown is now 5%. Now, most funded challenges, funded next, they don't give you a limit. No, they don't give you a limit. What do I mean by a limit? Like they tell you that, oh, if you don't treat for 2 days or 3 days, they will take your account from you. No, they don't do things like that. They actually usually give you free space to trade. You understand? So if you trade and then you stop trading for a while because your stuff stops working, they are patient with you enough to recover. You understand? So now, when it gets to this particular point and I hit this draw, now what do I do? This is the reaction I'm talking about now. I stop trading live and go back to demo. Now, you need to actually understand something, right? Some strategies will work for like 4, 5 months, then stop working. After a while, they can come back again and continue working again. They can, they may also not. Depends on the strategy. Depends on the people that actually using the strategy. Depends on the people that actually like using massive lot size, the liquidity provider and things like hedge funds, brokers that are probably trading that particular what do you call it, model. So it may not. Now, as I hit this drawdown now, I stop trading live and I go back to demo. Now, I will trade demo till I get another edge. Remember, the aim of everything is capital protection. That is the aim of everything. In Forex, what you just do is protecting your capital. Protecting your capital. That's just what you're doing. If you know how to protect your capital, you blow your once you blow, you just look at it as a game. Once you blow your account, it has ended. What's long here? You don't feel you get that is the aim of trading. Capital protection. If you know how to protect the capital, you're a good trader. So I'll trade on them until I get on that edge. How long will it take me to get the other edge? I don't know. But one thing I know is that that 25K challenge account I have, probably I've traded it for like 3 months. And in that 3 months, I have withdrawn, let's say I've withdrawn up to like $4K. All right. Let's see that thing that I withdrew $4K, which is a lot of money in Nigeria. If you convert to Naira for some persons, you get. But you understand what I mean now? And then I still have my account. So now I'll trade on them until I get on that edge. I'm not going to be in a hurry. It may still be that strategy that I may still start working again after 2 months. It may be a different one I may get. But regardless of whatever I actually is, I'm going to trade on demo till I get on that edge. Now, once I trade on demo and I get the other edge now, the same way I got the strategy, all right, I'm going to backtest, compare the results, create a plan around everything. Every single thing I meant actually, I'm going to create everything based on the new strategy. And then the maximum loss I'm going to have in a row and the maximum distance. I know all of those things. I know what to actually expect from the strategy. Now, after doing that, what do I now do now? It may take 2, 3 months, whatever. It may take 1 month self, all right? But once I get any edge, what do I do now? I'll go back to my live account. Now, instead of me to use 5%, I'm not going to use 5% this time around till I recover the drawdown. Okay? This was 10 losses in a row. 10 losses in a row was when you hit the maximum loss, 5% loss. Okay? So now when I go back to the account again, I'm not going to use 5%. I'm going to use now, which is 0.25%. Are you seeing this now? Till I recover from the drawdown. Now you know my risk reward ratio is how many? 1:10 on an average. It can be lesser, whatever. But since I'm actually using 0.25 now, all I just need to do, if I win a 1:10 trade, I've made 2.5%. You see, I'm close to being out of the drawdown. If I win another one again, and that's 2.5. So just 2 wins, I've gotten myself back. Then at this point now, I can now go back to my 5% risk I was risking. You understand? Okay. So now I move down from this to this on the new strategy. Then when I've recovered my drawdown, when I've made my 5% drawdown back, then I can go back to this thing. Now let's assume I recover the drawdown. Okay, I recover it. And once I recover it now, my account now goes from whatever it actually is to 25K back. Then at this point now, I can increase my risk 0.25 till you recover DD. You understand? Okay. Now, the same things. That's so if you recover your DD now, you can now, once you recover, okay. Now, what's the worst that can actually go wrong here? Remember, before you said you got yourself a new strategy after months of like demo trading and back testing, you must have actually done it for a while. You must have actually seen average accuracy. You must have actually seen the probability of you winning trades. You must have actually seen the maximum amount of losses in a row. All of those plenty things, right? Now, you now using 0.25 per trade is you protecting your capital because you don't get 0.5, but if you use 0.5 now, you lose 10 trades again. You've hit your total DD, your total drawdown, and account has gone. Do you understand? So now use 0.25 now. The worst thing that can actually happen is maybe as you just started it, the market dynamic change immediately on your head, which is most likely not possible, not going to happen. But let's assume if it happens again, once you have under 10 trades in a 10 loss in a row, that means the strategy is not good. Times 10 again. You've had under 2.5%. Hmm? Then after this again, what do? You stop trading again and go back to demo. And if you're coming back again now, you're not going to use 0.25 again. You're going to use 0.125 till you recover BD. Do you understand? So this is why I actually say infinite is infinite. The secret never blow your account because instead of it to actually like blow accounts, what's actually happening is that once you hit a drawdown, You stop trading, which is the right thing to do. Because currently you don't have an edge. You understand? Market has changed. Your edge is no longer working. And then you do demo, practice, study, backtest, you get a new edge. Once you get a new edge now, remember how I said you backtest, get your everything, you're sure of all your parameters, then you carry your demo account, do it for like a few days. Yeah, it's good, you got everything right. It's moving the way you actually saw from the hindsight. Then you go back. So most likely when you go back, you already have a probability of winning. Everything is set and everything. You're obviously going to recover your DD. Probably you win like three trades out of like six or seven. You recover your DD. Once you recover your DD back, you take your risk back to 0.5 and continue trading here. But if you got your parameters wrong, this thing, you still have your account again. And this is how to keep going, 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 going. Your account will just be reducing, reducing. Your drawdown will just be reducing. Like the amount you're risking just keep reducing, reducing, reducing. You eventually recover. You understand? So this is actually designed for up to 40 losses. At least from here, 0.5 to 0.25 to 0.125. Then I think from here it should be 0.06. So these are the four phases. This is like 40 losses across 40 losses across four different market phases. Okay. If you're a good trader, you know what you're actually doing. You can never actually completely lose everything. Do you understand? In fact, if this one said does not have to even be 0.06. This one said can only remain that 0.125 because we don't want it to keep going lower from this. So if you do the whole mass, 0.125 plus 0.125 is 0.25. 0.25 plus 0.25 is 0.5. 0.5 plus 0.5 is 10. So this is the first 10 losses. Second 10 losses. All right. Third 10 losses. Then fourth. You understand? So as it happens, if you go like this, bam, you stop. So you get any, you want to get new edge, you come now, you reduce your risk by this. Try it again. If you recover it, good. If you don't recover it again and you hit the drawdown again, stop. Then when you come back, when you once you got a new edge, you buy this again. If you do it and you recover, fine. Continue from there. If you don't also recover too, stop. Once you come back in this, you understand? But most likely after this first one, because before you come back and say you want to trade again, you must have gotten something you're sure of. You've back tested everything, everything actually aligned properly. You understand? It's actually aligned properly. So that is basically it. It may actually look a little bit confusing, but after the session, on your at your own time, this one is just this particular one is just like 18 minutes or so. It's not long. I try to like, in your own time, just bring it out, play it, and listen to it. Once you're done, rewind it again, rewind it till you get the whole concept. The thing about learning now is that most people say, I don't want to learn, I just want to take signals. Good, you want to take signals, that's fine. But if you learn it, it's good. Like at least this is going to stick with you. For this area is not come back again. At least this is going to stick with you. And once it sticks with you now, you already know it. Do you understand? So once you start trading funded challenge, you're not gonna start blowing account. Now the thing is that if I had known this particular thing beforehand, you know, no issues. You understand? But most times you don't know, but now you know. And now you know what are you going to do. You follow through. I have some students that have actually done challenges. They pass it and everything, but then once the market changes and everything, they blow it. So now you've seen this particular thing, use it. Anything that makes you have 10 loss in a row, that means your thing is not working. Stop. Even if it takes you 2 months to get a new edge, once you get a new edge and you're sure that this thing is working, you're back, let's say for like 2 months, you're done demo training for like 1 week, it's giving you this accuracy, you're sure. Go from there to your live account. Reduce your risk. Within that first week, you're going to recover your drawdown and you're good. You're going to most likely because you're backtested it for 2 months, it's working. You've done it for 1 week, it's still working. So like The only thing that can actually make it not to work after everything is maybe as you're just trading. That's when Trump is saying, ha ha ha, China, I'm killing you again. You understand? Then everything just change and scatter, forget everything. But that's very, very much likely not to happen. So you see, except if that's actually against you, that's when you can actually lose this one again. Then if you still lose this one again, you still have a third one here, and you still have a fourth one. Do you understand? So that's actually how to never blow your account in Forex trading. For your main capital, you know how you're going to do it. If you want to risk 5%, you can maybe use, let's say for your main account now, you can, this one is 0.5%, 10 losses. So for your main account now, you can do DD is equal to 50%, then TD is equal to 100%. So for this particular DD now, it's still the same thing, but now it's not 0.5% you're risking, it's now 5%. So 10 losses in a row is going to give 50% drawdown. Do 50% drawdown, you stop trading. Okay, so once you stop trading now, once you come back again now, after you've gotten a new edge, you're not going to use 5% again, you're going to use 2.5% to recover your drawdown. If you use 2.5% and you win two trades in a row with 1 is to 10, you have made 25, 60%, you already recovered your drawdown. And once you cover your drawdown, you can take your risk back to 5%. You understand? And if it still doesn't work the way you actually planned, you get your account still at least up to four different this now across up to 40 different losses across four different market conditions. You understand? So just let it sink in, understand it very, very well, and use this particular tool to never blow an account ever again in this life. Thank you very much for joining me once again, and see you guys in the next session. This Euro USD was a good setup. Oh. I made a mistake with the entry I called out. I made a mistake with the entry. I called out 1.10977 instead of 997. 997 would have been this white line. 977 is probably around here. So, and funny enough, I took 9977 from one of my accounts. I don't know how I made that mistake, but it's still fine. If it still gets entry point again, it should give us a very good reaction. You understand? Then let's see Eurojapan, what Eurojapan actually did. Eurojapan has left. Eurojapan has left. So that is just basically it for the session. All right. Thank you very much for joining. See you guys in the next one. Have a lovely, fantastic, beautiful day. And bye.